Life is precious, and the average person only lives about 30,000 days. If you're 30 years old, you've already spent over 11,000 of them. Let that reality settle in. The idea of someday is a deceptive trick your brain plays, making you think you have endless time. But here's the truth. You don't. Time is finite. The good news is that you have the power to take control and make every day meaningful. This isn't about cliché time management tips. It's about making intentional choices that create a life you won't regret. Life is short. Don't waste it. A guide to living fully. Chapter 1. Time perception and the psychology of life. Time is weird, isn't it? Remember when summer vacations as a kid felt endless? Now entire years seem to blur together. This is the time unit paradox, and it's rooted in how our brains process experiences. When you were a kid, everything was new. Your brain was constantly recording those fresh experiences, making time feel slower. As an adult, routines take over. The same commute, the same meals, the same TV shows. And your brain skips over these repetitive moments. No new memories, no sense of time expansion. The solution? Hack your time perception by breaking routines. Take a different route to work. Try a new hobby. Talk to someone you've never met before. These new experiences force your brain to pay attention, slowing down your perception of time. And remember, we often overestimate what we can do in a day, but underestimate what we can achieve in a year. Be patient with long-term goals. Chapter 2. Priority Management. What actually matters. Most people confuse being busy with being productive. They fill their schedules with tasks that feel important, but don't really move the needle. How do you prioritize what matters? Try the deathbed test. Picture yourself at 90 years old, looking back on your life. Will you regret spending extra hours at the office, or will you value the time you spent with loved ones? Suddenly, the important things become crystal clear. Here's a powerful tool, the two-list strategy. Write down everything you want to achieve. Then circle the top 3 priorities. Everything else, that's your avoid list. Ruthlessly eliminate distractions like social media and busy work. Life is compound interest. Small daily actions in the right areas multiply over time. Don't let distractions steal your most valuable resource. Chapter 3. Relationship Dynamics. Small acts, big impact. Relationships are like bank accounts. Every interaction is either a deposit or a withdrawal. A kind word, deposit. Constantly being late, withdrawal. And just like a bank, you can't make withdrawals if you haven't made deposits. Many people focus on grand gestures like expensive gifts or big celebrations. But it's the small, consistent acts that matter. Checking in with a friend, remembering a birthday, or offering support during tough times. Shared struggles build stronger bonds than shared pleasures. Those challenges you go through together deepen connections. Don't ignore your weak ties, those casual acquaintances and distant friends. They're often bridges to new opportunities and perspectives. Want to expand your sense of time? Help others. Giving time paradoxically makes you feel like you have more of it. Chapter 4. Career and Purpose. Move beyond the comfort zone. Your best career opportunities aren't in your comfort zone. They're just beyond it. This is the adjacent possible, the sweet spot between what you know and what you could know. One of the biggest mistakes people make is optimizing for money too early. In your 20s and early 30s, prioritize learning. Every new skill is like a lottery ticket for future opportunities. Forget the traditional career ladder. Modern careers are dynamic and nonlinear. Advancing often requires moving sideways, taking unconventional routes, or even stepping back to gain valuable experience and develop unique skill sets. And beware of career quicksand. Staying too long in a comfortable role you've outgrown. Use productive procrastination to your advantage. If you're avoiding one task, channel that energy into learning something new. Sometimes, procrastination reveals your true passions. Chapter 5. Health and Vitality. Your energy multiplier. Health is your life force multiplier. Every part of your life either improves or suffers based on your health. Think about it. Would you rather have 8 energized hours or 12 draining ones? Stop glorifying lack of sleep. Sleep isn't just rest. It's a brain superpower that enhances decision-making, creativity, and mood. And don't underestimate the power of micro-workouts. 10 push-ups here, a short walk there, 5 minutes of stretching. It all adds up. Your body was built to move, not sit for 8 hours. Movement creates mental clarity. Stuck on a problem? Get up and move. The solution often comes when you least expect it. Chapter 6. Learning and Growth. Teach to learn. If you want to learn faster, teach what you're learning to someone else. The teacher effect compels your brain to grasp concepts more deeply because you must explain them clearly. Another effective strategy is reading biographies. These books condense entire lifetimes of experiences into just a few hours. By learning from others' mistakes, you can avoid making those same mistakes yourself. Do not be afraid to stay strategically bad at certain things. This concept, known as deliberate amateurism, keeps your brain adaptable and prevents your ego from becoming rigid. Constraints are not your enemy. They are actually your superpower. When time and resources are limited, you're forced to innovate and think creatively. And remember, knowing when to quit is just as important as persistence. Strategic quitting is not a failure. It is a way to create space for better opportunities and meaningful growth. Chapter 7. Emotional Intelligence. Master your emotions. Did you know that emotions like anger and frustration only last 90 seconds in your body? After that, you're choosing to stay in them. While you can't control the initial wave of emotion, you can control what happens next. Emotional regulation is a superpower. Staying calm under pressure builds trust and sets you apart. Vulnerability is another tool. Used strategically, it deepens trust and connection. Avoiding difficult conversations only builds emotional debt. Tackle them head-on and practice gratitude. Unexpressed gratitude is like having money in a bank you can't access. Express it or lose its value. Chapter 8. Financial Wisdom. Buying time freedom. Money is more than numbers. It's about buying freedom, but chasing more money often leads to lifestyle inflation, where your expenses rise with your income. Bigger houses, fancier cars, longer commutes, you end up with less time despite having more money. Consider the concept of time affluence. Would you prefer earning $100,000 a year while working 80 hours a week? Or $70,000 a year with only 30 hours of work? Your true hourly rate is not just a reflection of your paycheck. It includes the personal sacrifices you make along the way. You make for that income. Smart people rent objects and buy experiences because experiences grow in value while objects depreciate.
Create financial stability by spending less than you earn. This approach opens up opportunities and eases stress. Chapter 9. Creative Living. Turn on the faucet. Creativity is not about waiting for inspiration to strike. It is more like a faucet that requires you to turn it on and let the flow begin. Initially, the water may come out rusty and full of bad ideas, but those early missteps are necessary to clear the path for your best ideas to emerge. Constraints are a powerful driver of creativity. When you limit your options, you are forced to think in innovative and unconventional ways. Chapter 10. Personal Energy. Protect and multiply it. Your energy is your most valuable resource. Without managing it properly, even the best time management strategies will fail. Conduct a personal energy audit to identify which activities replenish your energy and which ones leave you feeling drained. Relying solely on willpower is a mistake because willpower is limited. Instead, design your environment to make positive choices effortless and automatic. The time to start is now. Time will pass whether you use it wisely or not. Your habits shape your days shape your years, and your years shape your life. Don't wait for someday. Start today. Pick one idea from this guide, test it, refine it, and make it yours. Life is short, but it's long enough if you live it intentionally.